right now we have evolution happening in the food, beverage, hospitality space where some of these venues are having to evolve to help generate revenue, to help get traction, to help get awareness. I have here with me Khalil, founder of Joint Kahlab. You actually have a software that's helping to facilitate this evolution of these real estate spaces. Go ahead and give me a breakdown. What's happening with that?
So basically, Kahlab is a platform that connects people to like the right spaces and the right people. So if you're a space owner, you have the option to join our platform and have visibility to be able to be seen by different members that we have on our platform, and they can book your space morning, night, day and night, and they can use their credits to book your space.
And one thing I love about what he is doing really aligns with how I've been seeing the F&B space as I've been working with it for 18 years is there is a ton of venues that have zero daytime traffic and they're doing nothing about it. And the real estate, the land that they're sitting on, the building that they built is the most expensive, the most valuable possession that they have. It's not, of course, the amazing food or the drinks they have, because if you don't have anybody there to consume it, then you're losing money. And so I know a lot of times it can be hard to create that traffic if you're not near a mall or you're not near a school or something that has traditional daytime traffic, but by incorporating the software component, I think you can help create that magnet for attraction.
Yeah, for sure. I see it as like a two-part system, right? I had a space myself for like 2 years. One of the biggest things that I had was issue with was the ability to drive traffic and visibility. So once you figure out how to get traction and visibility, then you need a system to keep the traction going. You need members and everything like that. So that's how like the platform comes in from the space owner side is, it creates that recurring revenue for like the platform. But now you're 30%, 40% more likely to get more daytime traffic because these people are already paid. They're ready to go to a space, they're ready to view the space. And when we look at like a pop-up co-working day like today, we've done bars, we've done coffee shops, we've done events that are typically nighttime spots, and brought hundreds of people here and like activated the space because people want to co-work, they want to meet people, they want to be in these super cool spaces. It just takes someone to be like, hey, look, this space is available during the day. And adding something like coffee is like a key like revenue generator, I think, for even like a bar, right? You have coffee in the daytime, now the space is being able to be used in the day.
And there are, of course, already traditional co-working spots out there, but they're charging for access to the space because they don't have a product to sell. But with these food and beverage places, of course, having a coffee activation, having lunch that people can get access to, and if you have your TABC license, which is your ability to sell alcohol here in Texas, you can easily transition people into the happy hour component, because that's another issue. People have these amazing happy hour specials, $3 you call it, $4 you call it. Almost they're losing money trying to get people in, and people still don't come in. But by having a daytime component like a co-working coffee activation, you can segue straight into that.
And I think that the whole thing is people. Everything starts with people. Like when you think about like, the space, the product, or whatever, it all starts with people. And so if you switch your marketing to figure out what the people actually want, right? Most people are lonely. Most people that work from home during the day, they're isolated in their environment, or it's too noisy, it's too quiet, so they bounce around from this space, and you have a space that can have plugs, coffee, good Wi-Fi. Now this is an ideal work environment for a lot of people. And you do the thing, now you're solving the loneliness, you create a community, and that takes a lot of work. And so that's why like my platform kind of comes in and like, okay, cool, we're gonna provide extreme exposure to the spaces on our platform, but our main thing is curating community, so that way when you come to an event, you can meet other people, you can see who's working at this space, who's working at this space, and it creates something that makes people want to increase that retention rate, rather than just like, I came to this space one time and I left.
And that's one of the things why I like working with Khalil, because he's working on the consumer side of things, especially a lot of these venues, they aren't in these spaces around these people that come to these sort of events. So having him on the front lines, kind of aggregating that is super valuable. But on the back end of the venues, making sure you have those retention measures in place, where they be curated events, because this man can't curate every event to make the audience come back. Like, he's giving people here a chance to come see your space for the first time, and that's what I love about it too, because this can also turn into like an open house mechanism too. You know what I'm saying? You have 100 people coming here, those 100 people each got a million ideas each, and then so how can you as a hospitality venue owner repurpose those ideas and turn it into long-lasting revenue? I mean, and then of course we talked about that, the co-workification of the venue, adding the plugs, adding the hooks, all the things that make somebody feel like they're at home, I think is something that can't be discounted.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's like twofold, right? Like, you know, us being able to come in and host an activation in your spot, like that's amazing, and we're gonna continue to do that because that's what we do. But also, we want to be able to plug more people to your activations. So now on the platform, we can say like, cool, you know, Sneaks is hosting a coordinate activation. Everybody go here this Wednesday. Everybody go here to this other venue. So now it helps make our job easier because we can like, okay, plug you, and just flood you with people, flood you with like the visibility that we have from the members that we have on the platform. Then the second part of that is, okay, cool, now you got the people. What are the things that's going to make people want to come back repeatedly? Make people be like, this is really cool. Make people be like, you know what? I came to this space. I didn't have to think about the plugs. I didn't have to think about, you know, all the little details and stuff. And I think being able to have that like bird's eye view of having like the ability to work with all these different spaces, we can say, okay, cool, this is what works here. You should implement this. This is what works here. And now you can kind of start almost like create like an accelerator program for spaces because you know exactly what people are wanting, what people are needing. You can say this is the list of everything that people want.
And then of course with the community that you're building too, it already passes along the trust to them since you are a person who understands what they need, that I've already went and pre-vetted the space. Because people also are coming out with an ROI in mind. I'm going to get work done. I'm going to make relationships happen. And they can't afford in 2025 to make the decision to go out and not get any return back. So they want to go out for certainty that they're going to get what they want. And honestly, I've been noticing that there is definitely a correlation to what's happening with the hospitality model and what gyms are doing. Because imagine with a gym, you're trying to get people to come back more and more often. The best gyms are hosting workout classes. They're creating that community because when you start having those lateral connections, people are more likely to feel like they have an accountability partner when it comes to production. And guess what? Just because they go to a run club outside of the gym, that only helps to strengthen your brand. And so this could essentially be almost like the run club while these hospitality venues are the gym, creating that workout class environment.
Yes, it's like it's the same thing. Like if there's a run club that frequents your location, frequents your gym, and it is housed out of there, like that's the like starting point. As the run club grows, you grow. Like, and so when you look at it that way, it's like, yeah, like let me do everything I can to like make this one event pop, because that's gonna create this trickle down effect of everything else.
And I think the future is here. Is venues realizing how to get people in earlier, how to give more back to them, and then in return they get more back to themselves. So I know he has a software app. He's looking to onboard venues. I have media and events that I'm looking to plug so that way we can give the venues the assets they need to look good, to help capture, help retain some of these customers. What are some of your big plans for 2026?
Man, 2026, man, that's great, bro. The biggest thing is, you know, we're hosting our launch event actually July 21st, 2025. So we're hosting our launch event July 21st, like the bigger launch, like, and then from there, it's really branching out to the Austins, the Dallases, you know, like the different locations. We already have a few in these different locations, and then from there, 2026 is going to the Miamis and going to these different hubs. But it's first, we're building this solid foundation, this solid you know, following here in Houston, and it helps us figure out all the systems and all the things that we need to tell these venues, so that way, like, we can make sure that you have your best foot forward when we curate these spaces for our members.
And Houston is such a good hub to learn a lot of this stuff in, because we're not bunched up together like other cities. Everything is spaced out here. We have to work harder to get somebody somewhere. So I think if you can crack it out here, then you can go to other spots and then like put a lot of things in place to where they can rinse and repeat it, probably at a higher level of efficiency for cheaper.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's like Houston, like, you gotta think about it, man. Like a drive in Houston is what, like 30 minutes, yeah. 30 minutes, like any location you go to, unless you're in like a specific hub, you know? And it all goes back to even when I have my physical location. Remember, like, I was like, man, I gotta do something different. We end up, you know, working with the venue downtown at FAO. We were just like kind of thinking about all different, you know, the scenarios. And I was like, why are venues closed in the day, or why don't they have traction or whatever? And it really starts with like being able to curate community people, and that takes some work. And I understand if you running a bar or if you're running a co-working space, you got to make sure things is clean, the staff is good, you got to make sure all these different things. And then on top of that, post on social media, then on top of posting on social media, then creating a community. That's a full system.
And that, I mean, and creating a community requires mobility. You need to go pull up to them where they are and get a chance to meet them and bring them back.
And bring them back. And so that's why I love what you're doing, because like on the media side, like that can make someone's jobs a whole lot easier to curate that community if you have consistent content that can speak to your target audience, like jab, 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 and that like goes a long way.
And I mean, I'm a big believer in people are coming to a venue, they want to know the story, and there's no reason why a venue owner shouldn't have their story somewhere easy to digest online, so that way people can create that emotional connection even when they're not there.
I feel like it's all about the why though. It's like, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
If you're doing it for the money, stuff don't really work. But if you have a why, a purpose behind, like this venue we're at now, we're at Sneaks, right? He's like, man, I wanted to bring people back to nostalgia, to a time when everything was good in like the early 2000s. Like he has this whole theory, like methodology behind why he built the space. When he communicated that, now other people can relate to it. Like my why is to connect people to other people, to open doors for other opportunities that you never knew you would have had if you didn't make that connection. So all of these whys build up, and you put that out there to the world, man, I think it can open up.
And I am physically here seeing it happen. A lot of people walking in, they loving the space. A lot of people haven't been here. I haven't been here yet. And this is right down the street from where I'm always hanging out, so they'll definitely see me again. So, man, creating customers one person at a time.
Bro, yes sir, man.
Make some small talk. Tap in.